Hello, and welcome to the second part of my rant, which is about the Monster Hunter series in general, problems with the game, and things that will probably never ever be fixed. And I'm sure most of you can agree with these. But anyway, this is Monster Hunter Tri, great game for the Wii, and it does have some flaws, but don't let that stop you. Get the game and enjoy it. Anyway, now that that's passed, Monster Hunter Tri does have a few outstanding issues. And probably the ones that stick out the most would be hit frames. As you know, hit frames determine where you are hit from an attack, a movement of any kind, and such things like that. This is not as bad as Monster Hunter 1. Monster Hunter 1, like, when your first experience of really bad hit frames is with Yin-Ketku. Yin-Ketku, doesn't even have to turn. You could just come near it and you'll be knocked over. And if it turns, God forbid. You're tripped easy, you're made vulnerable attacks ridiculously, and typically using a short range weapon was a really bad idea. Though fun. I was dual swords, I love them. But just not the greatest idea. Now in Tri, a lot of these things have been fixed. I'll give them, at least that credit. The hit frames aren't as bad. At least not as bad as they used to be. They typically are done well for a lot of the monsters, like for Great Jaggy. Royal Ludroth is actually fairly well done. Even Legaia Cruz is done pretty good. But there's some that will just stand out to you, like Diablos. He does this certain attack where he turns his body and goes up in the air, with his horns, and he will do this twice. The thing is, even if the horns don't touch you, even if his whole freaking head doesn't touch you, and you're just to the side of him, you will get hit completely by air, just because you're near him. Now, this probably would have only taken a little bit of adjustment, and it wouldn't have been a problem. But it's not the worst one, not at all. For SNS users, Great Sword users, Lancers, and LS users for sure, the one you hate most has gotta be Rathalos. Has some of the worst hit frames in the game. The slightest turn, the slightest movement, if you're up close, will knock you over. Most people say it's a Dewclaw. Well, the thing about the Dewclaw, it's pointing down like this. Even if it was to hit you, you're getting hit with a blunt. And the turn is happening about that fast. That would not hurt you. And for a hunter that can wear hundreds of pounds of armor and weapons, it would not phase you. But it knocks you over. It stops your attack, it makes you open to being poisoned, to being fireballed, which he does constantly. He flies around everywhere and almost never stops. Of course, this is easily countered by hitting him whenever he's doing that, but oftentimes you find yourself getting hit by a fireball, or being hit by the weird wind hit frames, which aren't proper either. Because at times, you'll get like the full wind blast on you, actually the whole dust cloud on your character. Won't phase you, won't do anything. But you'll be at the end of the dust cloud, and you won't even see it touch you. But you go, and get all scared. Nothing really explains that. There's some skills that can solve this problem. And honestly, with the Dewclaw, there's nothing that can solve that. It's just there. And he has some wonky hit frames on his tail. Like you can not get hit by it at all, and the air from it will supposedly hit you. The fireball can go straight through you and not hurt you, but will blow up will hit next to you, but hit you. You never know when it's going to go right. The hit frames could have been done better, and you could easily see it as you play. My other gripe will be the one that many classic players have from the old games. No dual swords, and no bow. Why? The bow was an amazing weapon. You could solo monsters so well with it. For those who don't know, the bow had different applications like power, pierce, and stuff like that. And when you used it, you could charge it up to different levels, which actually had different abilities, like rapid, which would shoot another arrow after that first arrow you got. For third charge, shoot another arrow after that. You got pierce, which pretty obvious what it does, kind of like pierce shot for bowgun, but hell of a lot more powerful. And it was just great. I loved it. They even added something new in P3 where you can shoot in the air and hit down and explode. It's like arrow rain. It's really cool. But they don't have bows in here. They'd actually be very useful for some of the monsters. I can see where it could be a problem, like, say, underwater. But I think it could be worked out with some kind of special type of coating or something like that. Wouldn't be a problem. Dual swords. There's a lot of monsters that would have made some amazing dual swords. I think they shouldn't have been left out of the game at all. But they were. These swords are self-explanatory. You had two swords, you attacked. They were weaker than S&S, but did more damage because of how many hits you did. They had a demonization mode, which would allow you to, while drain your stamina fast, you do really powerful combos. You can blend monsters so quickly. Not in there. I don't understand the move for this, but Monster Tri does not have them. I see another issue, which is just a funny issue, and I know a lot of people in this game know it. The desire sensor. When you want an item, a certain item, you will not find it. You will not find it for hours. You will not find it for many runs. But as soon as you don't need it and you're just helping out a friend with a hunt, you'll find it. And you'll go and hate the game. And then laugh. And go on. It happens to everyone. I mean, I'm looking for 3 more plates for my Raffling Plus frame. And yeah. I'm not even going to go into that since I didn't even get my first Raffian plate until I was like HR 55. Yeah, what's that tell you? That's how long it took me. But anyway, and the things that need to be addressed. Lack of content. In Unite, it took content to a whole new level. A lot of monsters, a lot of armors, weapons, and just a huge amount of items and things to go with. And then they had these training quests, which were pretty neat. And then you add that with kind of an arena deal, and you're set. In this game, you only had the offline arena, which does not have all the monsters. You have to do that online, so offline gets screwed on that. There's 2 monsters that are online only. Oh, strike that. 3. Devijo, Elatrion, and Jamoran. So you're kind of screwed with those if you go offline. I think they would have learned from Monster Hunter 1 not to do that. Give like a weaker version, then give a super powerful version for the online or something, you know? MH1, as soon as you couldn't go online anymore, goodbye Fatalis. Yeah, that sucks. I think they should have changed that and worked with it, and from what I know, I believe they did in P3. Not well enough, in my opinion, but still. And content, yeah, they could have had more monsters. I think just a few more returns would have made the game have more lasting value. Because honestly, once you hit a certain point, there's not much other than do than just make a bunch of shit. Which is a shame, because you can go up quite high in HR. Anyway, this has ended my second random rant when it comes to Monster Hunter. Whether there was anything that made sense in it, I am not sure, but thank you for listening. Have a good day. This is SteelGray666, signing out.